Hey guys, and welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video we're going through my AFL fantasy team reveal for round, what are we even up to now? For round 13, I believe it is, 13, and going through that as well as the trades, the sort of thought behind the trades and how I'm, I guess in a way, thinking ahead, but I think a lot of these trades are almost forced trades, one of them is, well, a couple of them are just guys that may even get dropped, and then one of them is also, I guess, thinking ahead a little bit, and I am prepared a little bit to get damaged, I guess, in the fact that they may go out and score an 80 or 90 as they are going to be playing. But before we jump into the video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's get into this video. So, as you can see here, you'll probably see some of the trades anyway. You'll see the trade here. So there were some initial thoughts, and I'll just go straight to the trade here. Riley Bonner, I think he is absolutely cooked with both Brad Crouch and also Ari Showmaker having pretty good games in the twos. And you could almost make a statement for Hugo Garcia as well, even though I don't think he'll play a full-time mid, so I don't think he would impact Riley Bonner's role in any way, shape or form. I think it would be the big hitter in Brad Crouch that would remove Sinclair's need from the midfield and chuck him down back, and that would spell an end to Riley Bonner's need in the side. But then you'd also have potentially Ari Showmaker making a debut, as he's had a couple of really good, nice games in the twos. And that could also mean that Bonner is just a straight swap there, and they keep Sinclair in the midfield. Even though I think Sinclair is almost better suited off the halfback and giving them some run, as they really, it just looks awful for St Kilda at the moment. They have too many sort of 190 guys trying to kick the ball out, and it's just not working. That was sort of the thought behind Riley Bonner going. Will Graham as well. It was sort of a thought of who's going to be better suited in this game between a game against St Kilda. All these guys are actually playing in the same game, as you see here. I just think Will Graham is probably not as best suited to a game against St Kilda comparative to other players, and I mean that is probably just, and watch DFS just say nope, you're completely wrong with that thought, but that would just be my thought against St Kilda. It's just the wingmen are probably better suited than the actual on-ballers, and that is totally untrue apparently. So let's just see the wingers here. Tom Cole's not a winger, Jermaine Jones, Ed Langdon, D'Ambrosio, and then Darcy Tucker. That actually disproves my whole point. But I'm going to say this thing here. Round 9, D'Ambrosio, 63. The thing that I'm thinking at this moment is, are they actually playing against the true wingers of the side? I don't think Tom Cole is actually playing as a wingman here, if we actually look at it. I could be wrong, but I don't think he's been playing as a wingman. Let's actually just check this. They classified that as a wingman. That is not a wingman's role. I think that classification might be a little bit off. And I also want to check if we go here, go out of here, and then I want to check D'Ambrosio, because this one is questionable whether he was actually playing wing or not. No, he was not playing wing. Oh, it says he wasn't playing wing, but that is sort of it. That doesn't look like a wingman's role, to be honest with you, but it could be. So, it's an interesting one. I just think Closey will be one that's able to at least score 60 or so. And to think about it, he's a -7, right? And this is why I'm still almost debating this. If we look at Sam Closey's stats, he's a 74 and Will Graham is a 66. Now, they are basically dead on now when you think about that. And let's extrapolate this to 10 games. And you'll see that St Kilda thing almost readjusts here. In 10 games, that wing defender almost readjusts, because they encounter Heppel and Dersma so across the whole season. So, and that the inside mids hold firm. So yeah, I'm still gonna go with my original thought that Will Graham is the better trade out than Closey, just because Closey has like another 64 break even compared to Closey's 79. I think Closey is more likely to hit his break even. Plus, also, I think there is a chance that Will Graham is the sub anyway, and that would basically make this conversation null and void, because getting rid of the sub will be much more valuable than getting rid of Closey. So there's that, and that's the reason behind the Will Graham. Darcy Wilson, a lot of people are doing a lot of people are following this actually. I thought the traders would have more weight in this if you actually look at it, and I remember doing this yesterday with my trades for the trade targets video. There was a lot of, I actually saw this, and I think it was at 6.4k. Darcy Wilson 8.6k trade outs. Jeremy Sharp is following close behind at 5.4. I think a lot of people will realize these two are, unless you have Clark, Ryan, and then who else? I don't even know who else from those two sides. Let's actually legitimately think about this. Clubs, who's on the bye, it's Fremantle. Total points scored. So you have Ryan, Sarong. Even Brayshaw is a worse player, so you would be trading him out more. Ryan, Sarong, Clark, Young, Jackson. So if you have 5 guys, I'd still be taking 5 guys in this bye just because you have rookies. So yeah, I think a lot of people... Why are they trading out? Yeah, that's just Nuffy's trading out Luke Ryan. A lot of people, 1.9k, are trading out Caleb Sarong. That is just people trying to buy flip, and that's... Buy flip generally is an alright strategy, but not in this round 13 shortened buy, when only 2 teams are on it, because you have guys that are going to make up the score, and you're basically flipping Caleb Sarong for about 40 points, and Caleb Sarong will almost make back that 40 points by the end of the bye, as he's ranked 7th. Whereas if you flip a guy like maybe a Brayshaw or something like that, or maybe even I don't know exactly who it is, but and this is why there's some merit to doing flipping a Jeremy Sharp, but also you'll realize that Jeremy Sharp, you'd have to flip him up rather than flip him down, and flipping him up is a lot harder to do. And so that's why he is probably not a really good trade out at all, because in rounds 14 and 15, you're going to realize how short your bench is. And Jeremy Sharp could get you another 20, 30, 40 points in that time. And then you just trade him out in round 16. And you'll be able to trade him out probably to Rory Laird, is what I'm genuinely seeing. So anyway, back to the sort of team, and where's Billy Dowling? Dowling can honestly go there, and then I can just flip a Jackson on field. We heard news Moyle is going to ruck, I believe about Tuesday or Wednesday, that Jared Witts the injury was worse than first thought, and he was out for the week, which is exactly what I wanted on both Fancy and Supercoach. So there's that. Let me just find out who do North Melbourne play. North Melbourne play West Coast. Damn it, 2 easy sides out of the window. Adelaide play Richmond. I have no Adelaide players. That sucks. Also, can we just fix this up with Tom Powell? I'd rather that, to be honest with you. And then I can just take the best of Billy Dowling or Kane McAuliffe, and if they both score 90, well then Lockie Sullivan can go into the bin, to be honest with you. I'll put Luke Jackson there, and then I'll put Lockie Sullivan here, is what is going to happen if that is the case. And if he doesn't score well, to be honest with you, I just take the biggest score out of these two, because I need to take one score, because I have no other guys on the bench, etc. that can come in. So I take the best score out of McAuliffe and Dowling. If Dowling is the sub, then that moves to the likes of a, not Hutchinson, but probably a Geordie Payne, I believe. And Payne, I believe, is still a mid forward, so that will still help with that. And it's Collingwood that we're looking at, and so I'll be able to move an Isaac Heaney into the into the midfield for Lockie Sullivan, and because Luke Jackson is on the bye, I'll basically just do this. Straight up, as simple as that. Whichever score is the one that we need to take. If it is Kay McAuliffe, nothing changes. If it is the Billy Dowling or a Geordie Payne, then that exact manoeuvre will occur just to get that score. So that is what's happening there. If Bonner survives, what am I going to do? I may still trade him out just because it is a 60 guy and he's got a break even of like a 118. Yeah, I'm probably going to trade him out just because his he really hasn't scored well recently, a couple of 60s. So I think I'm probably still going to make these moves, but it is tempting to do something different or something like that. Get another sort of rookie or something off field, but I have trust in. I can't really get rid of any of, as I just move this around for the sake of my price ordering, as I believe this is also out price ordering wise. I'll do it like this because I want to have the guys ordered in the right order, but I also want to leave the spot that's not playing as the M8 slot as the slot that McAuliffe will come into potentially, but I want to leave that so that is pretty sort of obvious. Okay. So what would happen here if I want to take the likes of a? So I'm gonna have to. Probably. So if I don't want to take McAuliffe's score and I want to take the Billy Dowling or Geordie Payne, I just want to go over this. I would go Isaac Heaney and then I would also go him up there, and that would flush out the full M1 to 8, meaning that McAuliffe's score is locked off, but it would allow Billy Dowling's score to come in, Billy Dowling or Payne's score to come in. So that's the way that's running. Okay. So we sorted that out. So what am I looking at moving forward now that I've gone through my trades and sort of let's go through actually the reasoning behind the trades, and then we'll go through the what am I looking forward, because they sort of coincide. So Tom Green was the most valued player, and I think I almost needed to pick him up just because if you take out the 7, he's going at like 100. He's also got a week of rest for his ankle. So I think that will help, and I think with Cornelio and also Kelly out for the foreseeable future, he needs to pick up the slack, and he will do that, and he'll start to go nuts. So yeah, I'm picking up Tom Green because I believe he can genuinely go nuts. He's got Hawthorn, which, let's just double check this. Hawthorn last 5 matches. Hawthorn inside mids -2.9. That is nothing basically. And also he is a 102 guy. So yeah, if he scores 100, that's still a decent effort. And then Errol Goulden is another one. I've flipped and flopped, and I may flip again to LDU, but my thought is just Errol's just he hasn't gone below 83 except for the 69 score in round 0. If you take that 69 score out, he's had basically one bad game, and the rest are sort of 95, 98. They're very, very consistent. I would like to see him have a really high ceiling game, and I think that is possible. I mean, he has got Geelong, Adelaide, GWS, Fremantle. I do think that he could generally actually score really well just because he is going to be out there for a long time, as he's down to, I think, 1 rotation on the bench in the last, basically since the first bye. He's down to 1 or 2 rotations on the bench. I think this was 2, these were 1s. So yeah, he had probably about 8 rotations on the bench throughout the whole game. So yeah, I just think he's going to be out there for enough, and if they actually beat these teams comfortably, he should get involved in the last quarter with some chip to chip, and that should really help him out. And yeah, that's really where he does well, is basically if he gets above, what is it here? If he gets above 3 marks, he gets to 98. That's how simple it is, and I know that is very, very almost unrealistic, because I think that is just a coincidence more so, but I think that there is a genuine connection with him going, above 5 marks? Let's just say above 5 marks, and he gets to, above 3 marks is 95, above 5 marks is still 95, but it knocks out this sort of outlandish score where he had 23 kicks, 6 handballs in, which I think was his season high. Yeah, it's pretty much his season high alongside this game as well. So yeah, the marks, I think if he can get to 5 marks, he'll be very, very confidently in that 110 sort of range almost. I know that he's had this game here and he's had, well, that's 4 marks, but he's also had a 10 marker here where he conceded 6 free kicks, but if you take those 6 free kicks down, that's a 110er, realistically speaking, or a 105 sort of type of guy. So yeah, he may actually get, he may be one of the guys that doesn't do well in the new rule, but I think he could also almost profit off it because the Swans will move the ball so quickly out of contest that I think he'll just be open on the wing, just like, I'm here for a mark. Give me a mark. So, and because he's being more used on the outside, like if we go to DFS, I don't know whether he'll be caught up in the contest as much. And I think it may be guys like Chad Warner that actually get a little bit stuffed over by the new rule. Well, not new rule, the new interpretation. So yeah, if we look at here, Errol Goulden's at 35% for the year. That's not much. And I know he goes involved in the contest, but he's usually actually the one on the out the back. So I don't think he'll be the one that is involved as much in the actual stoppage contest. So I think he will be one that profits off the new rule just because he'll be the one in space being like, give me the ball. So that's the reason why I think Errol Goulden is a good choice. So watch that fall flat on its face. And Billy Dowling, we talked about this. Billy Dowling, Georgie Payne, I believe it is. I could be butchering his name. I usually find a way to butcher guys' names. Geordie Payne, I think it is. Yeah, Geordie Payne is the guy that will be interchanged for him as we expect a debut for Geordie Payne to come up, and that will be announced, I'm pretty sure, tonight, if it is. And if it's not, then it's Billy Dowling and hope that he is in the sub. And if Billy Dowling is the guy that I don't want to go for, then it's Hutchinson, who I'm not too confident about. So running through the rest of that, sort of the trades in itself, and the reason why there was a thought about LDU is just because next week, if you do the math here, Closey staying at his price, plus Clayton Oliver staying at his price, plus Ned Moyle staying at his price, plus the cash I have in hand, 493 plus 759 plus 579 equals 1831 plus 43 for cash in hand. That's 1874. And if we look at Tristan Cherry, he is 849 minus 849 equals 10,025. And then you've got Clark here as well. Clark is at 891. So 891 would leave me with 134 in the bank. And 134, and I need Oliver currently to go. So yeah, I need about roughly somewhere between a cash generation for Ned Moyle of roughly about 50 to 60k, which is tough, but he did go 48k in the last round. So if we say he goes 48 again, that gets me to 182, and I'd need another 18k to at least make this trade happen, as I do believe there will be some mid-season draft guys that do get start to filter through 200k's that I may need to jump on. But yeah, that's sort of the thought behind that. Going and getting rid of him. There's also a thought of potentially getting rid of maybe a Jack. There is a thought of getting rid of Jack Steele, but he's a 108 guy, so I'm not too worried about getting rid of him as much. And there were other thoughts about maybe getting rid of a Dylan Moore, but Dylan Moore's just come off a purple patch. So unless he was to get injured, he would probably be involved in not getting traded. And so yeah, that was sort of the thought about it. So there is a thought about getting LDU. I just think that do I want to run the gauntlet as much as I am with Errol Goulden, or do I want to just sort of settle it down, know that I'm going to get Jordan Clark and Tristan Cherry next week? As there's also a thought of Tristan Cherry could go up and put up a 120 again, and that would blow that number back out again. So yeah, there is thoughts about all of this, I guess. But then there's also, I could just go to potentially in English, but that would just be trading into a buy almost. So yeah, there is thoughts, I think, about going LDU instead, as he has had a back end of the season that is sort of good enough. So maybe I will actually just do that at the moment, and then we have time to ponder over that, and I will it will tell people if I do sort of change that, as that gives me a lot more headway. It basically gives me another 90k, minus 48 plus, what was I on, plus 97k. It gets me to a 231 gap already. And 231 plus Neb Moyle would potentially cover off Closey, bad effects of Closey, Oliver not hitting their break-evens, and also the bad effect of Tristan Cherry beating his break-even. So I think that's what I could do in the end. 836k for David Junak. It is a little bit of a risk given that he is only scoring 95. But he has had a good sort of... has had good 9, 10, and 11 rounds, and he does tend to do better off the bye, and he does have the Eagles game as well. So I'm going to go LDU, even though I want Goulden. Maybe I can get Goulden next week or something like that, or the week after in round 15. Maybe I can grab him then as one of the final upgrades, but we'll wait and see on that one. Anyway, now looking at captaincies. You have Max Gawn as a captain, just straight up as a captain. Against Collingwood, he basically has Darcy Cameron, and that's it. And that is on the Monday. So there is a little bit of a worry that with that captaincy, he could potentially be out. And the only other captain that I'd be able to flick it to is Nick Martin. Or even, do I have any Carlton guys? I don't think I have any Carlton guys. So yeah, it will be basically Nick Martin switch. And VC, you surely have to go like a Bontempelli with a Brisbane matchup with their depleted. I mean, their midfield isn't depleted, but then again, he's just looking on fire at the moment. You could also go Nick Dacos against Melbourne, but I think that they will probably just send Jack Viney to him and probably hold him to like a 110, to be honest with you. But I think Max Gawn could genuinely go 150. Given that he went 1-2-2 against a double ruck and a 1-5-2 against St Kilda, I think he goes big against Collingwood. So that is basically the team there. I know a long video, I somehow made it really long, but that's the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I guess I should just do a conclusion. Yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one, which will be the Supercoach team review and reveal on at 1 p.m. today. So I'll see you guys in that one. Bye, guys.